Hi, and welcome to Astro Bites for Friday, the 23rd of, is it? Yeah, just had to check, 23rd of August, 2024. As you can see, I'm in the same frock. So I am doing these at the moment on Monday, the 19th in the afternoon. And you might get a different frock tomorrow because I think this will be the last one I do today. Anyway, moving swiftly back to the chart, we actually have an aspect today. And all week we haven't really had aspects that we could kind of really talk about because we were still so much in the energy of the full moon that it kind of took over. Anyway, today the sun, of course, is in Virgo, and Mercury retrograde in Leo is making a trine, which is a good positive aspect, to Chiron in Aries. Now, Chiron, remember, is one of a group of space objects called the Centaurs. And Chiron received a wound that never healed. And this is kind of representative of that inner wound, that trauma that all of us kind of carry to some degree or another, whether it's from childhood, from birth, but we all have some kind of trauma that lays or lies deep within us and comes up every now and then to determine the way we behave or the way we think about things. But this retrograde Mercury trining Chiron in Aries is actually very positive. And I wonder whether what it kind of represents is that there is mileage today in talking with maybe a trusted friend or a counselor or a therapist about some of the issues and problems and traumas that you carry within. Because you would really find that it would be easy to kind of make sense of them today and find a way to understand them better, to reach that point of healing, to reach that point of seeing them in a very different light. Because sometimes what happens is it takes time. It's not until we have grown enough in ourselves, until we have experienced enough in ourselves to get to the point where we actually can say, now as I talk about a particular trauma, I can see it in a different way. And I can see perhaps why I reacted the way I did, or why the people around me actually weren't all to blame, but they also were behaving from their traumas, from maybe their abuse or whatever had unfolded for them. You know the saying about how abusers become, or the abused become abusers. So there's that kind of energy about that. But this is so positive, so that by the time Mercury actually goes direct again at the end of the month, and we'll go back over this angle, this aspect to Chiron, which obviously I'll cover in an Astro Bite, and it will be in September, you might find you have yet another discussion which really kind of resolves something for you around something that has up till this point been painful and difficult to talk about and address. So that's the main energy for today. We still have the energy of Venus squaring Mars. So we still have this energy of the masculine and the feminine maybe warring with each other. So that energy is around. And that could link in with the conversation that happens around the Chiron issue. So it could be that you have this conversation with a partner and you find a way to heal something that has unfolded in the past that has been so desperately painful for both of you. So there's a lot of good that can come out of the energy today. Let's move on to our word for the day. And before I get to the word of the day, I want to just mention something that I've already mentioned before, but I'm going to mention it again, which is why at the moment I don't do the individual zodiac signs when I do the monthlies. This is because it became basically too much. I can't manage, I don't have the stamina to do the amount of work required for them to be good, because I don't want to just turn out quantity of astrological garbage for each of the particular zodiac signs. I want to turn out quality. And to turn out quality every month for 12 zodiac signs, along with the full moon, the new moon, the month ahead. And as you know, I love doing these Astro Bites, and I really want to keep doing these. They feed me. And if they feed me, then you will pick up my passion and they will feed you. So that is why I don't do the monthly zodiac guides anymore. But you know, as I've said many times, there are many astrologers that do. And those astrologers are probably a lot younger than me and have a lot more energy and stamina, so they can actually manage to do the work involved. There's a lot of work involved. I'm not complaining, because as you know, this is my passion and I do it from the bottom of my heart. But I just wanted to just explain, and it actually leads very neatly into the word for the day, which is boundaries. I have to set boundaries for myself, and my boundaries are very sacrosanct to me. They're very sacred, and I have to take personal care of my personal space and my personal health. Therefore, I have to maintain good health and good energy levels to do what I'm passionate about, because if I was doing the monthly zodiacs, I would quite frankly get tired and a bit bored, because actually, you see, you're doing the same aspect over and over again for different signs. And what you need to do is all become very good astrologers, which is really what we have to all do, so that we know automatically that if I say we have a full moon in Aquarius, you know exactly where that is in your chart, because you know your rising sign. Once you know your rising sign, you have a handle to your chart. So these are my personal boundaries. What are your boundaries? Have a think about it. How good are you at maintaining them? Now, I'm fixed energy. I'm a Leo ascendant and a Taurus sun. So my boundaries are pretty good, but they didn't used to be, because I think I used to operate from my Pisces moon, which is mutable, which meant my boundaries were all over the place and I didn't have any. So it's really important, I think, to look at personal boundaries, whether it's in the work you do, the hobbies you do, your family, your relationships. And you know, people respect you for honoring your boundaries. We have to look at how we manage our personal limits in relationships and any situation like that. So have a think today about how good you are at maintaining boundaries. Do you know they are so super important? The best people for it, of course, are Capricorns, because they're ruled by the planet Saturn. Saturn is the planet of boundaries, containment and restrictions. Look at where your Saturn is in your chart. That will give you a big clue whether it's cardinal, fixed, or mutable, as to how you manage your boundaries. There we go. So on that note, I will be back tomorrow with yet another Astro Bite. And I've reached my boundary for this Astro Bite, and hope you have a lovely, lovely day. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And please remember, I nearly forgot, to like, comment, and subscribe. So that would be really super cool. And I love you all. You're all amazing. And please understand my boundaries. Okay, my loves, that is it for today. And I'll be back tomorrow with another Astro Bite. Okay, bye for now.